to my channel. So I just ran some errands and I got some groceries while I was out, and I just put them away as you saw. And I was just thinking, maybe I should vlog this. Maybe I should start my daily vlogging, my reading vlogs, things like that. So we're getting started. As I was putting away my groceries, I was actually listening to an audiobook. I'm listening to That Self-Same Metal by Brittany Williams. Yeah. And so far so good. I'm really liking it. It's YA fantasy, historical fantasy. So yeah, I'm liking it so far. Recently, some things I've read recently. I've read, oh crap, what was that book called? I just finished this morning, hold on, my phone's on the charger. I just finished this morning, I hope I'm in focus. Okay, The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. I'm about to post about that on my Insta story. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I post all of my book reviews on my Insta stories. So if you want to keep up to date on that, follow me there. But yeah, that was an adult romance. It was okay. It was cute. And what else have I read? I read The Fourth Wing by, is it Becca Ross or something? Okay, that could be completely wrong. Oh no, it's Becca Reyes. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I recently bought it. So it's by Rebecca Yarros. Why did I think her name was Becca and not Rebecca? Anyways, Rebecca Yarros. Yeah, it's so pretty. I never had a book with edges like this before. What do we call them? Designed edges, art on the edges, whatever. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book. This is adult dystopian fantasy. I really enjoyed it. It's not the best, it's not a literary masterpiece. The girlies who read adult fiction and adult fantasy, you guys probably won't like this very much, but I personally really loved it. I had a really fun time reading it. It was so fun. I'm gonna reread it so I can annotate it. I really loved it. Yeah, and I have to get the sticker off. Before that, I read the Throne of Glass series and absolutely loved it so much, so much. And if you've been following me for a while, especially on Instagram, then you probably know that I originally sold all of my Throne of Glass books because I wasn't gonna finish the series. Like, I read the first 4 books in the series and I don't know, I wasn't feeling it, but I think I just didn't read it at the right time. I wasn't a fantasy reader just yet. I read it back in 2019, and you know, yeah, now I'd say I'm a fantasy girly now, and I read it at the right time now. I absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorite fantasy series of all time. It's so good. It's so good. Like, I can't even believe I didn't like it before. And it's funny because I used to always say that Heir of Fire was so dreadfully boring. I used to always say that. But now I loved Heir of Fire. I think I gave that one 4.5 stars. I loved it. Yeah. I gave it 4.5 stars? I think I did. Wow. But yeah, I really loved it. I feel like I have more to say about that series, but it'll come to my mind later. But yeah, that's my reading update for right now. I'm going to continue with this audiobook and see where it goes. And yeah. Okay. So I'm a mood reader, and I'm no longer in the mood to read that YA fantasy. Excuse my voice, I don't know if you guys can tell, but my voice is sounding like kind of scratchy, and I think it has to do with my allergies. But anyways, yeah, so I'm no longer in the mood to read that YA fantasy. It was good though, nothing was wrong with it. The audiobook was great. I just wasn't in the mood anymore. I don't know. But right now I'm going to read/listen to The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood because I have it on Libby right now, the audiobook, and I want to read it before it expires. So, not expires. I want to read it before my time is up on Libby. Libby is a library app where you can get audiobooks or ebooks. So, yeah, if you didn't know, I'm sure you did know, but yeah. So I'm reading this right now, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. And I'll update you another day, because I'm gonna read and then I'm probably gonna sleep or something. I'm so tired. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just so tired these days. Okay, so yeah, let's do some reading and then I'm gonna relax and I'll update you on another day. Oh, okay, so before I read and take a nap, I mean, I don't ever nap, but I think I should start because I'm just so tired. Anyways, I wanted to do the book recommendations tag, and yeah, I decided to just fit it into this vlog because I don't think I'm gonna answer all the prompts for that tag because I don't know, I don't care to answer all of them, and I don't know, I just didn't want to make a separate video for it. I thought it would be more relaxed and more fun if I just do it in a vlog. It'll be quick, okay? So yeah. So the first one, it says, oh, also this tag was created by Steph Bower. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm sure you know who she is. She's very popular on BookTube. So yeah, she created it. And yeah, let's get started. So the first one says, a book you tell people is your favorite. So most people don't really ask me what my favorite book is. I don't really have any friends that are readers. So yeah, no one ever really asks me. What is that? Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought I saw something. Anyways, yeah, no one ever asked me. But a book that I used to say was my favorite is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I used to say that that book was my favorite. I don't anymore. It is still one of my favorite books, but I've only read it once. So yeah, it's just been too long since I've last read it. It's been 4 years. Yeah, it's been 4 years since I read it. So, but anyways, my favorite book of all time is actually A Court of Silver Flames. Yeah, that's my favorite book of all time. But I don't ever tell people that because no one ever asks me. So yeah. Number 2 says a book that is your guilty pleasure. Pretty much any of my Penelope Douglas books, I'd say. I've only read 2 things by Penelope Douglas. So I read the entire Devil's Night series, which consists of 6 books. So I guess technically I've read 7 things by them. But yeah, I read the Devil's Night series and I read Punk 57, and I loved both. I loved that series and that standalone. Yeah, but Penelope Douglas is so controversial, I feel. But yeah, I love their stuff. Oh, I've also read a short story on their website, which I really enjoyed as well. So yeah, I think they're my guilty pleasure author, I guess. Next is a book that deserves more hype. Oh, Where We Found Our Passion by Natasha Bishop. I've read that recently, absolutely loved it. Also, Zenny by Rebecca Witherspoon, which is a rom-com. I really liked that book a lot. Dating Dr. Dill. I think, well, I guess that did have a bit of hype at one point, but I think it should have more hype. I really liked that book. That's a rom-com too. I don't know, I'm looking at my bookshelf, but well, Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry has a good amount of hype, right? I think so. But it could use more hype, okay? Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry is my favorite YA book of all time. I love that book so much. Now That I Found You by Christina Forrest. I really like that book. That deserves more hype. I thought that was really good. Okay, yeah, let's move on. I don't know what else. Oh, you know what else deserves more hype? A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. That duology deserves more hype. It's so good. Like, that, it's so good. Yeah, okay. And it's enemies to lovers, like true enemies. A slow burn type of situation. But yeah. Okay, moving along. A book that is becoming a movie/TV show. I mean, what isn't becoming a movie/TV? Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan is becoming a movie, I think. And I'm so happy, like, because even though I haven't read that book yet, but Kennedy Ryan, she's such a great author. Like, she's my #1 favorite contemporary romance author. Like, oh my gosh. Her writing is just so good. It's so good. Okay, let's move along before this is too long. A book from a genre you don't typically read. I'm just gonna say Anxious People. I loved that book. I'd say that's like a comedic, literary fiction, mystery type of book. It has a lot of heavy topics, but like, for me, I cried reading that book. I laughed reading that book. You're gonna feel all sorts of emotions, but it's so good. I highly recommend. 5-star read. It's amazing. And go into it not knowing anything. Like, it's just, it's so good. A book that deserves all the hype it gets. I really be looking at my shelves. I just forget. Long Shot by Kenny Ryan. Does that get a lot of hype? I don't know. I think she's been getting a lot of hype lately, right? I don't know. I think so. But it deserves the hype. Long Shot is a great book. Very heavy, very deep stuff. It'll tear your heart out. Seriously. Very painful. But worth the hype. So good. Don't hate me for this one, but Throne of Glass, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Well, the series, not the first, but like A Court of Silver Flames is my favorite book in that series and deserves all the hype. Yeah. A book you usually recommend when asked to give a recommendation. I always recommend The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I've recommended that book to so many people, it's not even funny. And most people that I recommended it to have read it and have loved it. So yeah, that is usually my go-to recommendation. Yeah, only because I feel like that book, most people are gonna like. I have other books that I would like to recommend, but I just don't think everyone's gonna love it unless they're already an avid reader, you know? Like, I would love to recommend The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue to people, but like, I keep saying like, sorry about that. Ugh, I hate that. But I'm just not sure if people are going to like that book as much as I did. I loved that book. It's one of my favorite books of all time. Okay, anyways, a book that has your favorite characters. A Court of Silver Flames, hands down. A book you wish you could live in. The Cruel Prince series, well, which is the Folk of the Air series, which is Elfhame. I would love to live in Elfhame as a fae. And Valaris, which is in Prythian, which is in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. And I would love to live in that world as High Fae. Yeah. Okay, a book that made you cry. Every book makes me cry. It could be the happiest book on earth, I'm gonna cry. I cry for every little thing. Seriously. Every little thing, well, not in real life, but when I'm reading books, I cry for every and any little thing. It could be happy. Okay, so my camera stopped recording because I was talking too much, honestly. So I was talking about a book that made me cry. Every book makes me cry. So the last prompt is a book you wish you could read for the first time. And honestly, I wish I could read every 5-star read, every book that I love. Like, I wish I could read all of those for the first time again. I can't just pick one. Yeah, all the books that I love, I wish I could read for the first time again. But yeah, I feel like this was long, much longer than I meant it to be. But yeah. Okay, let's move along. On how the reading is going. So I decided to DNF The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Sorry, but I had to. I know this book is really popular and, you know, the girlies were loving it like a year ago or 2 years ago or something. So I decided to finally read it. I'm like, you know what, let me just finally read this. I want to get through my physical TBR and let me see how this goes, but I just was not feeling it. I wanted to DNF it after the second chapter, to be honest with you. Like, from the start, I just didn't see how this was a good book. It's a fake dating rom-com, adult romance, and it's a professor-student fake dating situation. He's not her professor, so when you're in college, if you don't know, like, they're in grad school also, so technically they can date because he's not her professor directly. She has no classes with him or whatever, so it's fine if they date. But I still feel like, why would you want to put your reputation on the line like that? That's not, like, he had his reason and she had her reason. but her reason was stupid if you ask me. His reason, I guess it was okay, but if you want to fake date someone, don't let it be your student, you know? Like, I don't know. Their reasoning just wasn't very good to me, because your reputation, I can't grasp my head around it. Also, the main girl, her best friend, she just annoyed me because she kept wanting them to show PDA every second. It's like, girl, you shouldn't even be, I don't know if you can hear the noise outside. Sorry if you can. I don't know what that is. Anyways, it's just like, girl, if they don't want to show PDA, like if you were her friend, wouldn't you be thinking like, oh, they probably don't want to show PDA because they're professor and student? They probably don't want to be all outward with their relationship like that. Yeah, so she really annoyed me. But her guy best friend, he was fine. I liked him. I guess that's all the thoughts I have on it. But yeah, I had to DNF it. I tried though, I really did. So even though I wanted to DNF it after like the second chapter, I was like, okay, let me just push through because, I mean, it's popular for a reason. Let me at least try to get through it. I got a little bit more than halfway through and I just wasn't liking it. I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it. Yeah, so that's that. I already started another book. I started another romance rom-com. This is Sweet Hands by Angie Peltier. This is a adult romance rom-com as well. Enemies to lovers, very cute. But let's see. So I started this book a year ago. I think it was a year. I don't think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, it was a year ago. And it was fine, but I wasn't feeling it for some reason. Like I just wasn't, I don't know. Something about the female main character was annoying me. I just wasn't getting into it. So then I tried it again now, and the female main character does not annoy me at all anymore. I don't know why she annoyed me the first time around, but she doesn't annoy me at all anymore. I like her, and I like the guy. And at first, when I first read it a year ago, the enemies part, they didn't seem like enemies to me, but now reading it again, they do seem like enemies to me, like enemies enough in a rom-com. So yeah, I don't know. The first time around, I just was not getting into it. This time around, I'm still not fully there because I think I'm just not in the mood for contemporary romances right now. I think I'm still in my fantasy. I mean, I know I'm still in my fantasy era, but I just thought, okay, maybe in between fantasies, maybe I should read some romances to break things up, you know, not get too overload with the fantasy books. But I realize right now, like, I'm in my fantasy era. I should stick to fantasy. But since I started this for the second time, I want to finish it. I low-key want to DNF it again, not because it's bad. Like, it's actually not bad. I think there's nothing wrong with it. It's already giving 4 stars, like a high 4 stars, if that makes sense. But for some reason, I'm just not in the mood for it. I'm just not connecting with it. Whenever I stop reading, I'm good. Like, I don't need to rush back to it. But I'm going to try to push through it because I don't want this vlog to be just me DNFing books. Okay, that was a long update. But yeah, also I say this every single time I mention this book. We have the same name, okay? The main character, her name is Charisse, and we were both Caribbean and we were both the same age. So I am meant to read this book, okay? It is my duty to finish this because we are connected, okay? This book was written for me, okay? Yeah, okay, I'm talking too much. I'm going to get through this book. I'm going to try my hardest. And I'm going to watch some Bridgerton because I told my coworkers that I would watch it so that we can talk about it. So we're going to do that. Okay.
You are missing, will they not?
I shall worry about that later. Now, if you please. I just need a little help. Come, make haste.
I have absolutely no intention of helping you.
I'm a lady in distress.
Okay, so here's a bit of an update. I finished this. I finally finished Sweet Hands by Angie Peltier. Again, this is an adult rom-com, enemies to lovers. He's a musician, she's a baker. and I felt very connected to this book. I felt like it was my duty to finish it because, like I said before, same age, same name, both Caribbean. I had to. And this cover is just so pretty. Like, I just love it. Anyways, so even while I was like halfway through the book, even when I was like more than halfway through the book, I wanted to DNF it. Not because it's bad, like nothing was wrong with this book. It was giving 4 stars, 4.5 stars from the very start. Like nothing was wrong with it. I just genuinely am not in the mood for any contemporary romances at this moment. I'm definitely full on in my fantasy era right now. So that's my own fault. I just need to stop picking up contemporary romances right now and rom-coms and such. I mean, The Love Hypothesis definitely needed to be DNF'd, okay? That just wasn't good, okay? I'm sorry. For me personally, it just wasn't good. This was actually good, which is why I pushed through it, regardless of me being in the mood or not. Throughout the last third of the book, I was really feeling connected to it finally. Like, I was like, okay, like, this is why I pushed through, because I knew it was a good book. There was nothing wrong with it. I just needed to start connecting to being in this rom-com, contemporary romance type of vibe, and I finally connected to it. I was laughing, I was having a good time. So yeah, I was really enjoying myself finishing this book. I'm very happy that I did and that I pushed through. Some books are worth DNFing, some books are not worth DNFing, but this one I'm very glad that I did. So yeah, very happy that I finished it. This is definitely a book I will reread in the future. Yeah, it's just so pretty. I can't get over how pretty this cover is. Okay, yeah, so that's all. I'm actually getting ready to go meet up with my friend. We are doing a study session at the library. We do this quite often, and it's like my favorite time to get some good writing in. So I really need to get going. I'm very late. Very, very late. So I'm so sorry, Bonnie, if you're watching this. Very, very sorry. You know I'm always late. Why are you early? So yeah, I need to get going, and I just really need to eat first because I cannot go and do my writing if I'm hungry. I'm already starving. I haven't eaten all day. Well, it's still early in the day, but yeah. So yeah, that's all for this video. I might do a few clips at the library, but yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next vlog.